Thanks for joining us on the On Your Side podcast. I'm Gary Harper.
And I'm Susan Campbell.
You know, we've seen a lot of scams over the years. I mean, I've been doing this, a long time, and they get better and better and better.
They're complicated. There's all kinds of different levels to it. They're so believable. Technology is making them even more believable. I mean, I remember years and years ago, my grandma fell for one. That old Microsoft scam.
What?
You remember when the pop-up would come up on the computer and it would say, you have a problem. We can help you solve it. Here's a phone number to call. She did not realize it was a scam. And I went to visit her and she told me, about resolving this issue and how proud she was of herself for handling it all because my grandpa had recently passed away.
Oh, Grandma.
And I didn't have the heart to tell her that she had just fallen for a scam. So I got on the phone with my dad. I was like, you need to call Grandma. You need to make sure she cancels those cards. But they've been going on for so long and they're just getting better and better and better. And, even really heads up, really smart people get caught up in these things.
I want to go back to Grandma. How much did she lose out on?
So they only charged her, quote unquote, her for the fee to help clean up the computer, which is what they said it was.
Oh, my goodness.
So it was like a $250 charge onto the credit card, and then we got everything shut down, changed, and she hadn't given them credentials to a bank account or anything like that. So it could have been so much worse.
It could have been worse. I mean, I'm surprised they just did it for the $250. I mean, they could have put whatever they wanted on there and just had a heyday.
Yeah.
Now, does Grandma know not to do that anymore?
Well, she has since passed, but she did not ever fall for anything, to my knowledge, ever again. Yeah, she had a tough conversation with my dad, who kind of walked her through everything. And she was a little bit more aware of what was going on.
Yeah, way back in the day. Scams have been around for a long time, but we had what you call the pigeon drop, where I won't even go into it, but my grandma, this is all obviously pre-internet. She fell for that. But now we have the internet, and now these scammers, they could be anywhere in the world. They hide behind their keyboard and do all their dirty work anonymously.
Well, and you and I get emails about this all the time from people saying, help me get my money back. And we have to have that heartbreaking conversation so often of there's not much we can do to get the money back. Once it's gone, once it's been, wired and transferred or cash, it's gone.
Yeah.
And this isn't... It's hard. It's such a hard conversation. I know you've had it. I've had it. And it shatters your heart because sometimes the dollar amount is spectacular.
Oh, it's some of the amounts that we get, from victims. They're incredible. It's jaw-dropping, and it just really makes you sad. But listen, we're here today to tell people about a particular scam and hopefully educate folks on how not to fall for it. And if you do, what can you do to maybe kind of turn things around if it's not too late? So today we got Erik Beguin. He is an expert in the banking industry and founder of the Austin Capital Bank. How are you today, Erik?
I'm great. Thanks for having me today.
I think is it Beguin, or did I pronounce it right?
Beg and then win. Beguin.
Okay, Beguin. All right. Well, listen, thank you so much for being on the On Your Side podcast. Where are you joining us from?
I'm joining you from Austin, Texas.
Austin. Okay. Hence the name Austin Capital Bank.
There you go.
All right.
You got it.
How are your Longhorns doing down there this season?
Well, they started off a little rough, but they've seemed to turn things around.
I don't know about that.
They started off rough to my Ohio State Buckeyes.
Oh, yes. Yeah. But
Can I get in a little OH right now? Is that mean?
Oh, no, Susan. I graduated from Michigan.
Oh, my God.
Oh, here we go.
We're going to have to cancel this podcast.
This is going to be
everything just went off the rails really fast.
This is going to be a big battle between you two. Well, I'll just add things to the mix and say I don't like the Longhorns because I went to Texas Tech. So there you go, Erik.
And you don't like Michigan either, right?
I don't like Michigan, no. But anyway.
Well, guns up, Gary.
Yeah, I appreciate you. And, hopefully you will do well this season. So tell us a little bit about this latest scam. It's called the Phantom Scam. What is the Phantom Scam, and how are people falling for this?
Well, sure. The Phantom, it's actually the Phantom Hacker scam, in that they try to convince you that you have been hacked when in fact you haven't been. So in this scam, they're not stealing money from you. They're actually trying to trick you into sending your money voluntarily. And so it's sort of particularly insidious in that if you send your money voluntarily, your financial institution is not going to refund your money because you sent it.
So give us the example. Walk us through how this actually works. Somebody gets a phone call or an email. How does it even start?
Well, Susan, it actually starts just the way your, I believe it was your grandma's scam started, is that it's a three-step scam. And so the first thing that happens is you'll receive a message from tech support. And it'll pop up on your device or it'll pop up in a text message or whatever. And what they really want you to do is click on that and engage with them. And what they want to do is download some software onto your device, right? So it's typically like, hey, we're the help desk. We need you to put a little widget on your thing. And like once they do that, what they're really doing is they're now going to be able to see your screen and they're going to monitor everything you're doing.
Okay,
right?
so I'm gonna hold the phone here for. Let's back up then. So something pops up that says tech support. Does it say something like your computer has been hacked or this is urgent? I mean, what is it about it that gets your attention?
It can be a whole host of things. It can be a Windows pop-up, or it can be like a text message or an email, like, hey, there's something wrong. Typically, they'll try to get some sort of like true pop-up on your screen, on your computer that says, hey, something's not working right. We can fix it, click here, right?
Okay. All right. So nobody wants a broken computer. They want it to work.
Well, so you understand the urgency.
So, well, listen, that's a key factor. They always want the urgency in there to make you make bad decisions.
All right. So once they get you to download that widget, now they're just watching you, right? And so the second step of the scam, the second step is your financial institution, in quotes, will contact you. Hey, this is XYZ Bank. We've noticed some anomalies on in your transaction account. Can we walk through that with you, right? And so in this step of the scam, they typically have bought all the information about the victim online. There's the dark web, and they can go on Telegram. They can download all this information. And so when they're talking to you, this is the confidence level of the scam, or confidence part, where they're saying, hey, and they know everything about you. This is your information. This is that. We're from your bank. We want to help you. We think that you're being defrauded. We need you to log into your account right now.
So you're logging into the real bank account. You're logging into the real site, but they're just capturing all of that information.
You're logging into the real site and they're watching you.
Okay. Do it. So just so our listeners understand, so you get this urgent thing saying something's wrong. You click on the widget. They have access to your computer. So at what point? So are they looking at everything, like all your information, or maybe your banking information?
Anything you're doing on your screen, anything you do on your screen, they're watching you do. And so what they want you to do is to pull up your banking apps and log in, and they're going to watch you log into your apps.
Okay.
Right?
Now, does the bad guy leave at that time and say, okay, something's wrong with your bank account? We're going to have the fraud department at the bank, your bank, call you. Is that how it bridges it?
Well, the original tech guy has already left, but now your bank has called you, right? And your bank has called you and said there's suspicious activity on your account.
Okay.
We need you to log in, right? And so you log in, and what they're really doing is they're deciding which account that they want to defraud. Like where is the money? Where's the money, right? And so you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 accounts at this XYZ bank, and they'll say, oh, well, we noticed it's on the account that has the most money. And so they will look at that account and then say, okay, what we need you to do is move the money out of this account. This is an ongoing fraud. This is live right now. It's an ongoing fraud, and we need you to move the money out of this account because it's at risk. And so they built your confidence because they know everything about you. And now they're going to build urgency. Is like, your money's at risk right now, and we need you to move it out.
Yeah, right? It's that sense of urgency that you talked about, Susan.
They will try to convince you to move it out. If they can't, the third step of the scam will kick in, which is a government agency will contact you. And it'll be the FBI, the Federal Reserve, the IRS, whoever it'll be, will contact you and say, hey, we're working with XYZ Bank, and we actually want to catch these criminals in the act, right? So we need you to move the money out of your bank into another bank. And here we have a safe, it's government protected, like you're working with us now, right? And because you're working with us, this is really important. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. You're going to compromise, you're going to jeopardize our investigation. And we want to really catch these scammers. So now you're working with us, right? And this might take a little time, or it can happen all in one call. And so what they're trying to do is build a confidence. They built confidence with the information. They have urgency, and now they have secrecy. Don't tell anybody what you're doing, right? Like, you're an important part of this. And they will then give you instructions, and the instructions can vary. They can be to wire the money to another bank. They can be to withdraw the money in cash, deposit in another bank. They oftentimes will be go deposit money in a Bitcoin ATM. If anybody ever tells you to put money in a Bitcoin ATM, it's a fraud.
Run.
Scam.
We did a story with a woman who did this exact same thing, and I can remember during the interview asking her, do you even know what Bitcoin is?
Right.
She was like, no, I had never heard of it before.
Oh, good Lord.
But she went to multiple Bitcoin ATMs around the city to deposit a certain amount of money at each one. And it was a disaster financially.
Oh my gosh. All right. Keep it rolling, Erik. This is like a good book that I'm reading right now. So keep it rolling.
And here's where the book takes a tragic turn, is that the moment that you actually transfer your money out of your bank to protect it is actually the moment you're defrauded. Because wherever you put that money, the fraudster is in control of that account. You've moved your money. You did it. You used your, one-time passcode, your username, password, all this. You did it. The fraudster didn't do it. And so when you transfer that money out, the money's going to be gone forever. Wherever it went, it's going to hop, skip, and a jump out of that account into cryptocurrency or wherever, and it's just going to be gone, right? It's going to be unrecoverable. And then when you go to your bank and you're going to say, well, wait a second, like, I was defrauded, like, I would like to be reimbursed. Their fraud investigation team is going to come back and is going to say, well, you did this. We can't tell that it's not a fraud because you used your username and password. You used the one-time passcode that we texted you. Like, you moved the money. Like, we can't control your motive for moving the money. We can't monitor your motive for moving the money. And most account agreements are going to be written like, you're out the money. And that's the heart-wrenching part, because this can be thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, or hundreds of thousands of dollars.
What's the worst? What's the highest dollar amount that you've heard people getting victimized on this regard?
I can't remember if it's this particular scam, because there are so many scams and frauds that we monitor, but I heard, a lot of them are life savings, right? But I heard one recently that was like $600,000.
Oh my goodness.
And a lot of these, the evil part of this is that so many of these scams are targeting the elderly. I think there's a stat somewhere that's like 50% of scam victims are 60 years or older. And at that point in your life, like, your ability to re-earn that money or your earnings potential it's just diminished. And so you're in the golden years, the twilight of your life, and all your savings are gone. Like, it's just gone, and it's unrecoverable. It's just devastating.
All right. Let's say our listeners out there have moms and dads or uncles or whatever, and they're getting up in years. What do they tell their parents or relatives about how not to get ripped off? What do you do?
Yeah, so I would give 3 simple steps, right? The first is don't talk to unsolicited phone calls, right? Your bank is not going to call you unsolicited. Tech support is not going to call you unsolicited. They're not going to text you unsolicited, any of these things. So if you receive those, ignore them. Or if the con person, the scam artist is doing such a good job, they make you nervous, hang up on them and call your bank. Just call your bank directly. Your bank is going to totally understand. Fraud is such an epidemic right now. Like, last year, I think between 10 and $50 billion was lost to bank fraud, depending on, the survey or whatever. Like, your bank's going to understand. If you call them and say, hey, this is going on, and almost undoubtedly they're going to say, don't reply to anything. Don't do anything. We would never tell you to move your money to keep it safe. This is a scam. Right. So the first thing is, don't click the link, don't talk to anybody, or contact your bank directly. Right. Or go into your bank if you bank locally. Right. The second thing I'll say is, never download software to your computer. Right. Never. Don't click a thing that says, hey, update your browser. Unless you are seeking it out. If somebody comes to you and says, hey, you need to download this widget, you need to download this app, don't do it. Just don't download anything that you didn't go out proactively to get, right? And then the third and most important part is talk to somebody, right? If it doesn't smell right or feel right, or it's just an odd transaction, like, hey, have you ever been asked to move all your money out of your bank account before? Like the odds are no. Like this isn't odd. It's a different thing. Talk to somebody. Talk to your spouse. Talk to a loved one. And if you're alone and you just really don't have anybody to talk to, go use one of these new AI search engines and just say, "Hey, this is happening to me." And it can probably give you the advice that would say, like, this is a scam and this is the scam and that's happening and here's what you should do, right? So maybe those 3 steps would protect individuals from being conned into moving their own money out of their account.
Because you are a part of this industry, can you walk me through what would happen in real life, not involving a scammer, if a bank noticed something fraudulent happening on an account? What actually happens? What should bank customers expect?
Well, the bank is going to contact you. They will probably freeze the account, right? Or freeze the transaction. And this is the insidious part. Like the bank is probably going to text you and say, "Hey, did you authorize this transaction? Yes or no?" Or, "Hey, we've noticed suspicious activity on your account," right? And it's probably going to come from your bank's short code or their phone number. But I wouldn't even take action on those texts. I would call my bank back directly or go to use my bank online banking chat function, right? Because the scammers know that that a legitimate bank is going to contact you if they see legitimately fraudulent behavior. And so they're just trying to copy that. They're just trying to look exactly like your bank. So,
and that's a great point too, because if they are posing as the bank and they text you, for example, they'll have an 800 number that, well, it's an 800 number. So I guess I can call it that 800 number. It may not even be Wells Fargo or Bank of America or whatever. It could be an 800 number straight to the scammer. So don't call the number that pops up on the screen. Find the number to your bank and then call that number.
That's right. Just find the number on the back of your debit card and call that.
Yes.
Right? That's probably the safest number. I looked at one bank and they had like 17 different phone numbers or short codes that they messaged their customers from. And so it's just not even possible for a consumer to know what number is actually legitimately their bank. Right?
Yeah.
So call your bank directly. Use the number in your bank statement. Use the number on your debit card. But call your bank directly.
And once you kind of talked about this, I just want to make it pretty clear for our listeners out there that once you move that money, it is gone in a split second. Once you hit send, you're not getting that money back.
That's right. If you move the money yourself, wherever you move it to, the moment that those funds clear in whatever account received it, these scammers are going to move that money out of that account because they know if you realize you've been scammed, that your bank is going to go contact that bank or that network or funds transfer network and try to get the money back. And so as soon as that money hits, they're moving it and boom, boom, boom. And it's across the world and it's wherever. And then they offboard it and it's just gone. It's just, as soon as you send it, it's just about gone.
Do you ever see this scam kind of like decreasing? Are people hopefully going to get, more knowledgeable about this, or is it going to expand?
Gary, it's going to expand. And so here's the truth. Like scams have evolved from, a disgruntled computer worker, sitting at home and they're running like little scams here and there. During COVID, what really happened is scam became incorporated. Scamming became incorporated. And now what you have are these safe nation states where bad actors have set up shop. And it's not just a couple of people. It is a compound with thousands of workers. And I use the term workers, not employees, because many of these people are tricked into these countries and then they're held there against their will. And then they're forced to scam people. And if they aren't successful scamming, the people who are holding them there are not nice to them. They have, and they're making billions of dollars. And so they have the best technology. They have AI working for them. They study the scams and they don't have any rules to follow. They have no rules to follow. And they can watch what the banks are doing. They can watch what the financial service providers are doing. And they're innovating just as fast, if not faster, than the banks that are trying to keep your money safe. But banks have to follow rules and procedures and process. And they just, and the banks have to be correct, and you have to be correct 100% of the time. A scammer only needs to be right one time, and you lose your money.
Wow. Very scary. Very scary. Erik, thanks for being on the On Your Side podcast. If people want to find out more about you or Austin Capital Bank, where do they go?
The best place to learn about me is actually at fortknox.bank.
Oh.
So that's our product that really focuses on fraud and scams. We have some educational components there. You can learn about the latest scams and really look at like how can you protect yourself from bank fraud and bank scams.
All right. Sounds good. Again, Erik, thanks for being on the On Your Side podcast. Great conversation.
Thank you so much.
The On Your Side podcast is produced by Brad Denny. Our audio engineer and editor is Todd Martin. Segment producer is Colin Stanton. And I'm Gary Harper.
And I'm Susan Campbell. If you have a problem you can't resolve, maybe we can. Send us a message through azfamily.com or our AZ Family mobile app. Look for the On Your Side section and leave us a message. Thanks so much for listening to the On Your Side podcast. And if you like it, leave us a review. We'll see you next week.
On Your Side is on Good Morning Arizona every weekday morning at 6:45 and 7 o'clock. And every weekday evening on Good Evening Arizona at 4 and 5 o'clock. You can also catch it on Arizona's Family News at 9 on 3TV every weeknight.